Hello, my name is Manpreet Shoker. I'm a mechanical engineering apprentice at MBDA. Today I'll be talking to you about my career and how I got to where I am. So to start off, we'll talk about my role and responsibilities. So my role as responsibility overall is to get an understanding of how engineering works within the real life. This kind of experience you'll never get in university or doing your degree. It's something you can only get in an apprenticeship, I believe. So whatever I learn in the classroom, I'm being able to apply it straight into work. So currently I'm in a placement called BNP, which is Business and Performance. So this is more of a business placement, and I'll explain later on why I'm there. But my role involves bidding for new contracts, understanding the risk of projects, and managing projects as a whole. And there's no typical day. So just a bit about the recruitment process. So obviously I applied after my GCSEs. So whilst I was revising for my GCSEs, I was applying for all these different companies that offered apprenticeships, not just MBDA. Unfortunately, I didn't get in. I didn't get any of my places that I actually applied for. So this led me on going to college and doing my BTEC in engineering, just to extend my knowledge in engineering, because obviously at school I didn't have that much exposure. So then after my BTEC I reapplied and I again got rejected, only after I had done the online testing. They kind of realised that I was quite a good candidate for the company, and I'm the kind of person they're looking for. So they did actually reconsider me during my recruitment process. So I got rejected and then I got considered again. So I got invited for the interview day, which is more of an assessment day. And all they do is take you on a tour around the site, so you can see where you'll be working potentially. Any questions you can ask, or if they've got any questions you can ask. And then you have a team project sort of task where they can see how you work in the team and just kind of see how you interact with other people as well. And then lastly, we had an interview on the day where they asked you to bring a portfolio of all your work that you've been doing that could, show them your skills and strengths to make you a good candidate for them to hire. So after the assessment day, I think it was literally within 2 days, I got my place in MBDA, which I was so happy about. I wasn't too keen on the idea of going to university, even though that was my plan after my BTEC, plan B. So yeah, I was over the moon that I got my apprenticeship. So some advice that I would give is to be relaxed, and if you're confident that you'll do the right job, just be you basically, and think about what you want to say in the interview. So it's really good to have some questions for them, because as well as they're interviewing you, you're interviewing them as well. So why I think apprenticeships are great: so you're able to develop on your personal skills. So there's been lots of situations that I've been put into, and I've been able to develop my communication skills, understand the other person and what they want, and being able to talk to them in a way to negotiate with them, and just being more confident in my own skin, and being able to apply what I learned in the classroom into real life situations, which I mentioned before. That is a great way of putting in use what you've learned in the classroom. It's not just learning it and then forgetting it, really. Another thing is getting paid and no debt. So obviously apprenticeships, they pay for your education. You might have to pay for a percentage of it, but my company, I'm quite lucky, I don't need to. But yeah, there's no debt like it would be at university. Being able to take responsibility and get praised for the work you do, so you are part of the team. They don't just see you as an apprentice, they see you as part of the team, even though you're just learning and just getting a feel for what they do. They really do value apprentices and their opinions. Being able to get an insight of how a company works. So this is another thing. All companies work differently. It could be small or big, but you'll always get an understanding of how a company works, and it's a great way of networking as well. with apprenticeships. And again, providing the company with a new pair of eyes. So obviously some companies are very stuck in their ways of this is the right way to do things, which maybe is the right way, or things can be improved always. So they do value an apprentice's view on things, because obviously they're a new set of eyes in the company and they're not just drawn into one way and one way only. So my advice to others would be take any opportunity that comes your way. You'll definitely learn something from it. So there's been situations where I've been put in and I'm like not keen about it, but definitely I've learned something from it. So there's been times where, for example, I'm not being very good at my negotiation skills, but from being put in them situations or being given those opportunities to be able to negotiate with others, that you definitely learn something from it. Never give up. Things happen for a reason. Obviously, I didn't get into MBDA the first time, but everything happened for a reason, and I'm actually quite glad that I did my BTEC before I did my apprenticeship, so that I had that knowledge as well. And do your research. Where is your oyster? And you just have to make it happen. Again, you can do anything you want. During my GCSEs, I was doing a lot of research of companies whilst revising, and it definitely did pay off. Another thing with apprenticeships, it's quite flexible. So obviously I know I wanted to go into engineering, but what kind of engineering, what did I want to do? I really didn't have a clue. And being in a company, you're able to kind of understand the overall picture of how they function. So that is the reason why I'm in business and performance now. Understand how projects are managed, because when I'm in an engineering role, that will help me understand how to interact with those other departments. Thank you for listening, and I hope that helped.